everyone. So today I'm going to do a first impressions video on this little beauty. Well, I don't know if it's a beauty yet, we'll see. The bareMinerals BareSkin Pure Brightening Serum Foundation. So I asked people, because I recently just got all of my pre-order stuff from the Macy's Friends and Family bonus discount for cosmetics, and asked on Instagram, you know, which one should I talk about first, and everyone said the bareMinerals. And I can see why. It's a different concept for them. It's their first liquid foundation that I'm aware of. And there's a few interesting things. I got a little shake, drop, buff. So it says there is coconut derived base with jojoba coated mineral pigments and brightening ingredients. No silicone, no oil, no parabens, no fragrance. 100% of women experience more even skin tone immediately after application. Yes, as that's what foundation does. And 95% of women experience a measurable improvement in the appearance of dark spots after 8 weeks of use. I'm not going to use this for 8 weeks consistently. Probably. It says there's no water in here as well. And looking at the ingredients, the first ingredient is a triglyceride and the second ingredient is a coconut alkaline. So that's interesting. It says, "Shake well, gorgeous." Shut up. So it comes like this. I have the shade Bare Cream 05. I do have to give them big props though, because there were, I think there's like, how many shades are there? 20 shades, which is not bad. And I think like 4 or 5 out of all of them were extremely yellow. This being one of the extremely yellow ones. So I'm like, thank goodness, because I always find foundations just don't go yellow enough for me, and I kind of need that. So it comes with a packet of information. There's apparently lilac plant stem cells in here, which I'm like, does that need to be in my foundation? It's not going to be doing much. I don't want that absorbing into my skin. I don't want my foundation to absorb into my skin. There's vitamin C, which is in the form of magnesium ascorbate phosphate, and that's at the very end of the list. I guess we'll see. So you're supposed to buff this on. Okay, fine. If I must, I must. And then they suggest this stupid little brush that has like a reservoir in it. I almost said like reservoir tip, and I was like, oh, let's not say that. So, if you don't get that joke, you're too young to be watching this. So, shake. You get a full ounce. It doesn't say how to shake it. The Chanel one, you're supposed to rock it back and forth. So I'm just going to shake it. I'm going to work from the back of my hand. So it's a little dropper. We'll do 1, 2, 3 drops to start out with. It's very liquidy, as you can see. It's very lightweight. Okay, so let's zoom in so we can see this. I do have a primer on underneath this. I am using the Laura Mercier Protect Primer, simply because it's got added SPF. This has SPF 20 and it's titanium dioxide. That's the only sunscreen ingredient, so it smells gross. It smells like tires or something. Or like Rainforest Cafe, you know, those rubber animatronic animals? That's what it smells like. Those guys. Not that I've gotten close enough to smell them, but... Okay, so 3 drops is not enough. But the shade is really yellow, and I think the shade's basically perfect for me. 3 drops again. It's also really hard to get the product out of the bottle. I realize I bounce up and down in my chair when I buff, because I buff with my whole body, not just my hand. So it's definitely giving me a slightly radiant look. Let me put some on the brush, which I'm really scared to. I don't want it to ruin my brush. This is why I hate buffing. It's just too hard to do. Funny enough, I think it's actually a bit light. I mean, it's very yellow though, so I'm okay with it. I think it says it's for all skin types. On the back it says famous no makeup look and feel. I don't know how that's famous. Everyone's obsessed with their full coverage stuff, so. I noticed there was a big jump between the light and the medium shades. There was no like light medium shade. 10:45 in the morning. So I'm gonna run about my errands. I'm not gonna do any concealing or anything like that. I'll do a little powder just on my nose in the T-zone. If needed. It might settle down and I'll do a little bit before I leave, but so far it looks like it's gonna be okay. Leaves my face mildly tacky. Not anything I couldn't deal with though. Okay, so here we go. This is at 10:45 in the morning, and we will see how this is going to look at the end of the day. Hi, so it's now 9 o'clock-ish. Well, what happened was I went, put it on, did my errands, came home, and then I had to take a shower. I just felt really gross. I don't know, it was hot outside, and so I took a shower, washed my face, and then, so basically I took it off. But I did reapply it at like 4 o'clock, or no, earlier than that. Yeah, like 4:30 or 5, no, it was 5. So I've only had it on for 4 hours. But the difference is the second time I put it on, I didn't have the primer underneath, and my moisturizer had sunk into my skin, and it didn't have a lot of slip to it. So I did a little bit of Fix Plus first, and then I tried to apply it on top of that, and it just doesn't look good. Like, my skin doesn't, it's really sticking to all the little tiny marks that I had from when I had my laser done, and it looks really dry, and it's sticking inside my pores. Ew. So I can understand the whole idea of like not putting silicone in it, not putting oil in it, that sort of thing, but the fact that they don't put water in it, it's kind of like that's what all foundations are made out of as the base. It's water, because water is, you know, it helps it blend. So the bottle's a little hard to squeeze as well. I don't know, I'll have to play with it. I think if your skin's not super prepped before, it's not gonna look great. I did powder. I did find that I was a little shiny, even with powder. So it could be I used too much primer in that area, or I didn't use enough powder, I didn't do enough foundation, or did too much foundation. But I think with, yeah, if your skin's not prepped, it's not going to look great. I do really like the color. I think the color's really great for me because it's extremely yellow. And it's also not the easiest to blend because there's none of those slip ingredients. Like, there's not even water. So it's harder to blend. And I'm going to have to try applying it with like a regular foundation brush because I hardly ever buff things on anyway. I don't know. It's okay, we'll have to play with it. My first reaction is I'm not impressed with anything other than the color and the fact that it's a really light texture. I really like the light texture of it, but with that said, it's not an easy to blend lightweight texture. So I think they have 20 shades, which is great. And there's options for people who have a really strong yellow undertone. If you're close to my skin tone or darker, there were a few shades that were really yellow. But yeah, it's not a standout product to me, I don't think. I don't like it as much as I like other similarly textured foundations. So nothing with bareMinerals, nothing to do with them, nothing to do with them as a company, them as a brand, but I just don't really think this is... My first reaction is it's not the best. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. Give it a whirl, give it a shot. You guys, it's $29, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to everyone soon. Bye.